How's it going, everybody? Combo here, and as you read by the title, today we got 5 quick tips with the RE-45. Now, as we can all guess, the RE-45 is the neutered version of the R99, but has a lot more intricacy than a lot of people may think on the surface. This weapon, in my opinion, has a very strong place in the meta, if you cannot use the R99 or the Volt for that matter. So, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Starting out with tip number 1, we're actually going to talk about the optimal range of this thing. Now, to me personally, I feel this thing does best just outside of shotgun range. So, shotgun range to me is about the 7 to 8 meter mark, which you can see right here. We're sitting at 7 meters. This is about your optimal range to be using a shotgun. And I think this thing does best about the 10 to 12 meter range, right in that little sweet spot where shotguns become less effective and you become more effective. This is something to keep in mind as well. This is the only weapon in the game that I can think of that does not do enough damage in one clip, other than the Mozambique and the P2020 with body shot damage to kill a target. What that means is if I land every single shot, assuming none of them are headshots, that will not be enough to kill. You do need to land a few headshots if you have no magazine attachment with this thing. But let's talk about the optimal range. As you can see right here, it does about 180 damage a clip if you can land all of your shots. You know, obviously your chest and leg damage does a little bit more and a little bit less, so this number is going to change quite frequently. But as you can see right here, if we can land every single shot, 182 damage there, did land a headshot. Same thing right here, if we're about 12 meters out, we can still land all of our shots very consistently, 192 there. If we go a little bit further back to about the 15 meter range, it's still very possible to land all of our shots. As you can see, it gets less and less consistent over time, and this is with a barrel stabilizer, mind you. So, try to keep just outside of that shotgun range, keep the shotgun people always guessing, and yeah, let them up. So, tip number 2 is a bit niche, I will admit, but it definitely makes a difference and is good to know, because this has killed me and saved my life after figuring this out. So the RE-45, a lot of people don't realize this, actually has 2 separate reload animations. The first being when you reload with bullets still in the magazine, and the other being when you completely drain it out. Now, typically, you're going to completely drain the magazine, but as I said, this may be useful to know, as without any magazine attachments, this thing will not kill a 200 health target, without headshots, of course. So we're going to fire at this target right here with the 2 separate reload animations, and yeah, so I'm going to show you the slow one first. This is when you completely drain the magazine. So you can see right here, we're going to actually have to cock the RE-45 at the end of the reload. So you can see right there, we're cocking it. Now, we're going to do the one with a few bullets left in the magazine, and you will see the difference in your shooting uptime. So right here, we don't have to cock it, and this is going to make our damage output a lot more consistent rather than having to wait for that cock at the end of the animation. So as you can see right here, not the most practical thing in the world, but definitely can save you if you don't have that magazine attachment and need to get that kill. So next up, we're actually going to talk about the quick draw holster attachment for the RE-45. Now, as I said in a previous video, the quick draw holster is a very good attachment. I actually prefer it on the Wingman, but on the RE-45, I'm going to be honest with you, really does not do that much. So with the RE-45, we're going to show the difference. And before I even do that, something very important to mention about this thing's hipfire recoil is it's extremely weird. So, as you see right here, if we try to hipfire this guy with no recoil control at all, it's going to shoot in a circle. So right here, then you can see it comes back to the middle. This thing shoots in a little circle when you hipfire it. And if we do that same thing with no control with the quick draw holster, it's going to do the exact same thing pretty much. Maybe a little bit less on that circle, but as you can see, very little difference. So really, you shouldn't be using this thing to hipfire. I think the strength of this comes to the faster handling and, of course, the aim down sights time. The aim down sights time is very noticeable compared to this one. So right here, without and with, very much snappier, especially the switching. So if I take this off and switch between these, it's still quite quick just because it is a pistol and these have naturally high handle. But if we were to throw a quick draw holster on both of them, you will notice a very dramatic difference in this thing. So as I said, you know, with the holster, without, you definitely want to pick it up if you see it. Something this thing comes in strength, or one of the biggest strengths with it, of course, is when you're using something like an R301, of course. Let's say you're bad, you miss your shots, whatever, you can switch over to your RE-45 extremely quickly, and because this thing actually has pretty decent range, you're going to be able to take out targets fairly consistently. So if you're using the RE-45, wouldn't be using this thing as your primary weapon. I would use it as a swap 2 weapon if you don't finish off a target. So, number 4, we're actually going to talk about the sight choice on this thing. Now, this thing being a pistol, our sight choice is fairly limited, not like the launch of Apex where you could put it 10 times on an RE-45. Yes, this is real, not a joke. But we kind of all know the answer to this. The digital threat slash thermal is going to be your best bet overall, as it just provides so many more benefits than any other sight in the game. Having the ability to see through smoke and see targets at longer ranges is always nice. But something very odd I found is the 2x sight on this thing makes it feel like a sniper rifle sometimes. As you can see right here, aiming down sights and shooting, this thing feels like a laser beam. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is just me being weird. But it feels like I can hit every shot with this thing at pretty stupid ranges that I probably have no business hitting my shots at. Even from there, this is, let's see, this is 93 meters, and I'm able to hit most of my shots, assuming I can aim. I don't know. I would say give this a shot, but we all know digital is probably going to be better for most players. But with the 2x, this thing is kind of crazy. I don't know. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think in the comments. So, moving on to tip number 5, and this isn't really as much of a tip as it is a build idea, something I highly recommend trying, is what to pair this thing with. And in my opinion, the best build to be running a quick draw holster RE-45, or just an RE-45 in general with, is the Wingman. This comes down to having the ability to run double quick draw on this thing, if I'm being really honest. This is from a player who plays at diamond level competitive, and I honestly think this is the best weapon to be running with it. You can, of course, run an R99 and a stock will get the handling similar to this, but having the ability to switch between weapons this fast, as it doesn't only increase your swap speed to this weapon, but also your stow speed, and that's where the strength of this lies. You have the ability to have complete weapon uptime, as long as your weapon's reloaded, at all times, because you can swap weapons in less than a second. It's immediate. Running Wingman and RE-45 is definitely something you should try, even if you don't have quick draw. I'm being completely honest, this is a very top tier build, and I think you'll see a lot of success with it. So, if you do like this, let me know in the comments how it did for you. If not, then I'll stop talking. Anyways, everyone, I do hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, be sure to leave hate, as I always love to read hate comments. And if you did enjoy it, you know, do with that what you will. You can do the whole like, sub, and all that stuff, but I'm not going to ask for it, because that's cringe. If you liked the video, you liked the video. If you didn't, you didn't. I don't know. Anyways, everyone, sorry if I do sound a little different. Really bad pollen season right now, and I'm struggling a little bit. Kind of hurts to talk, so I wanted to get this video out there because it's been a few days. And yeah, stay tuned for more Apex and more Friday night videos coming in the future. And yeah, it's been Combo. Stay home, stay safe. And yeah, peace out, everybody. Later.